will use a non-linear kernel, that is a RBF kernel. So here I'm keeping the linear kernel. If you keep the linear kernel, there is no difference between logistic regression as well as this model. So here it is a very highly computational intensive algorithm. So here if you use a linear kernel, better to go with the logistic regression or k nearest neighbor only. No need to use this algorithm. Whereas we have linear kernel also in this. That's why I'm using linear kernel initially. So after that, what we need to do? We need to fit our data. So here, after that, we need to fit our data. So here I'm fitting our training data to machine. So here I'm fitting this data. So here it is returning all the parameters. So here C stands for regularization parameter. And here we have degree is a polynomial of degree 3. By default, it is a degree return 3. And gamma, by default, it is taking auto. By default, it is taking. And kernel, we specified the linear kernel. And we specified the random set as 0. So here we fitted our data, our training data to the machine. After fitting the data, what we need to do? We need to predict the outcome. So to predict the outcome, we need to apply predict method on the test set. So here we are applying predict method on the test set. So after predicting that data, what we need to do? We need to see the confusion matrix. After that, we need to observe the confusion matrix. So here I want to observe the confusion matrix. So here, if you observe the confusion matrix, it is the confusion matrix by this algorithm. So here it is classifying out of 100 points, it is classifying 90%, 90 points correctly, and it is classifying 10 points wrongly. That is nothing but this algorithm returning 90% accuracy. So for that purpose, I want to see I want to predict the one point, which is predicting properly or not. I want to check for this points. So here it is giving category as 1. So remember this thing, you might get a question like, why we are keeping double brackets here to predict the single outcome? Why we are keeping double brackets here? So here for this simple solution is, so if you want to compare one quantity with another quantity, we need to have all the arrays in the form of same dimension. So here we have test data in the form of 2D, and we need to have, we have trained data, whatever the data we trained to the machine, that is in the form of 2 dimension. Here test data also in the form of 2 dimension. At the next time, if we want to predict the sum output on the test data, that data also should be present in the 2 dimensions only. Whatever the dimensionality present at the test set, we need to specify same dimensionality for this thing. That's why here I am using 2 brackets. Here I am using 2 brackets is nothing but here I am specifying the data in the 2 dimensions. Here I am specifying the data in 2 dimensions. That is the meaning of that thing. So if you specify that thing with the single bracket, it will return dimensionality error. So if you want, you can check that thing. So here now I want to see the progress card. That is nothing but classification report. So if you see the classification report, it will return 90% accuracy. So here it is returning 90% accuracy. Our algorithm predicting 90% accurately. After this, if you want to visualize the data, so here I want to copy paste same program which we did previously. So here I'm copy pasting same thing here. So here it is the graph for training data. So here we applied the linear kernel. So here it is looking like logistic regression line only. So here I did not change the name. That's why it is coming like logistic regression. Whereas if you change name like SVM, it will return like SVM here. So here you can change the title here. If you want to change, you can change the all parameters or all colors here. If you want to change the color also, you can change the color there. So after that, it is about training data. After that, for the test data also, we need to do same thing, right? So for that purpose, I'm doing same thing. I'm copying entire details. So here it is about test data. So here we got linear separable line. That is nothing but single line. Out of this line, we predicted few points wrongly. It is about simple support vector machine. So here it is a linear separator. So here I want to modify this program little bit by changing the kernel. So here we applied the linear kernel initially. That's why with that we got 90% accuracy. That means we predicted 10 points wrongly. Now I want to apply non-linear kernel, that is radial basis function here. So here where it is Yeah, here I want to change the kernel. Here in place of this thing kernel, I want to specify the RBF. RBF stands for radial basis function. It is nothing but it follows the Gaussian distribution. After changing this parameter, I want to execute this entire program. I'm not changing anywhere after, so I'm changing the single parameter only. So after changing this thing, I want to observe the entire data. So here if you observe this data set, so here we are predicting, here we are getting 93% accuracy. Previously we got 90% accuracy only, whereas if you apply nonlinear classifier here, if you use nonlinear kernel, it will predicting more accurately. Here it is giving 93% accuracy for our problem. So here if you observe this thing, yeah, good. So here we are getting 93% accuracy for the same problem if you use a nonlinear kernel. So here, whatever the kernel you want, based on your requirement, you can apply any desired kernel. So here to find the optimum parameters, so for that we need to perform grid search. I will explain you grid search in one more algorithm. So here it is the basic project. So which we did previously for the remaining classification with the remaining classification algorithm also. Sorry. So for that, so on this data only we applied all the classification algorithms to compare all the classifications algorithms finally. Now I want to rename this thing first. So here it is SVC1 support vector classifier 1. So here I'm saving this thing. After that, what we need to do? We need to do one more project. So that is, so here we can apply same thing on the regression problem also. So here I want to apply same thing on the regression problem. So here we have regression folder, right? On the regression folder also we worked on specific data set. Yeah, here we worked on specific problem, that is which data set we worked with? On which data set we worked with previously? Fuel consumption we did not work with. CO2 emission we did not work. I think it is a project which we worked on. So here we worked on USA house pricing data set, right? Okay, done. So on the same data set, if you want to work with the SVR, you can work with the support vector regressor also. Here I will explain you the difference between that thing and this thing. I will explain you that thing only. By using that thing, you can apply same thing on your data set. So here we can use support vector regressor also. To apply the support vector regressor, we need to import support vector regressor like this. So here, remember this thing, apply same thing on the regression model. What we did for simple linear regression or logistic regression, apply there this step. So here, to import this support vector regressor, we need to import like this from sklearn dot svm import svr support vector regressor. For the regression problem, solve same regression problem by using support vector regressor. So here it is importing the support vector regressor. After importing support vector regressor, need to create an object with the support vector regressor. After that, fitting the data. After that, predicting the outcome. Same thing. Same thing. Whatever we did previously, we need to follow same steps. So remember this thing. Support vector regression. So if you want, I will explain you that thing also. Yeah, someone posted in chat. Yeah, good question. Support vectors. So here, coming to the support vector machine, support vectors are nothing but. So I will explain you that thing now itself. So let us assume. So here it is a x-axis and it is a y-axis. I let assume here we have one separation line. So here let assume it is our hyperplane only. So here we are drawing this hyperplane based on the data points present on both the sides. Let assume this side we have red points. Let assume this side we have some green points. So here some some points we have like this. So here we are having, so we are having these points in this side. So like that we have separation points. So here by using this classification line, we are plotting this hyperplane. So here to plot this hyperplane, we are considering nearby points. So here to this, we have this point as a nearby distance. For this side, we have this point as a nearby distance. So here it is the gain margin. To classify the points or to detect the point, we are considering this point. So whatever the points present on this hyperplane, so this point as well as this point, these are called as support vectors. Whatever the points lies on both the sides of this hyperplane with the equidistance, those are called as support vectors. Based on those support vectors only, we are predicting the outcome. So here, whatever the points lies on this line, these are called as support vectors. So whatever the points lies this side, let us assume if it is in positive hyperplane, let us assume if it is in positive hyperplane, and let us assume the below points which are present in the negative hyperplane. So whatever the points lies below this thing, these are called as points which are lying in negative hyperplane. Whatever the points present in this region, these are called as points belongs to the positive hyperplane. And so based on these points only, we are drawing this hyperplane. That's why whatever the lines we are which are touching to this line, those are called as support vectors. And this entire distance, the distance between both the points is called as margin. So here it is called as hyperplane margin. It is called as hyperplane margin. So here I want to apply same algorithm for the regression problem. So here social media ads. So here polynomial regression. Which data we consider for polynomial regression? Salaries data set, right? So for the simple linear regression, I think we consider social network ads. Yeah, good. So here in the regression, simple linear regression, for this we consider where we consider social network ads data set. So KNN don't have support vectors. It is based on distance metrics only. So I explained you yesterday itself. Okay, no problem. Try to apply this thing on the regression. So I explained you that step, right? Based on that, we can do same thing on the regression model. So I want to explain you one more project now. So here I want to perform support vector machine algorithm on viscosine breast cancer dataset. So here on the breast cancer dataset, I want to apply this support vector machine algorithm. So here it is a classification problem only. Here I'm creating new SV. So new file. I want to take new file. Here I want to perform this thing. So here initially what is our first step? So whatever the algorithm we want to use, we need to import essential libraries. So for that purpose, here we need to import essential libraries. So here I'm importing essential libraries. So from matplotlib dot pyplot as plot. So here I'm importing essential libraries, and here I'm saying slash matplotlib inline. So here we imported the essential libraries. So after importing the essential libraries, what it returns? Import. So here we need to say import, right? So here we imported the essential libraries. After importing the essential libraries from the sklearn, I want to read breast cancer dataset. So in the sklearn also we have all predefined datasets. So if you want to know the predefined datasets regarding sklearn, search the datasets present in sklearn in the Google. So here from sklearn, I want to go to the datasets. So here from sklearn, I want to go to the datasets. So from this dataset, I want to import cancer dataset. So here to import any dataset, here we need to load the dataset first. Load, I want to load breast cancer dataset. So here breast underscore. I want to import breast cancer dataset. From the sklearn, I want to import this dataset. After that, it is a class. With this class, I want to create an object. So here I'm creating object with the cancer dataset. Here I'm saying cancer equals to, here we need to specify this class. With this class, we need to create an object. So here I want to load this cancer dataset. So for that purpose, here I created an object. So after creating this object, I want to observe the keys present in this dataset. So here to know the keys present in this dataset, we need to use keys attribute. So here it will be present in the form of dictionary only. So here this data will be present in the form of dictionary only. To visualize the columns present on this dictionary, we need to use keys attribute. In this keys attribute, we have data target names, describe feature names, and file names. So here we have description of each and every feature also, and we have feature names also. To describe this data set, I want to call this describe key. So whenever you call this describe key, you will get the description of each and every key. So here I want to print description of each and every feature. So here, what is our dictionary name? Cancer. So here from the cancer, I want to access which key? We need to access this describe key. I'm copying that key here. Here, I'm copying that key. So whenever you see the result, it will return the information regarding this entire data set. So here in the breast cancer data set, here it is a viscosine diagnostic data set. So here it is diagnostic data set and it is a real-time data set. If you want to get this data set, you can search this data set in the Kaggle also. So here this data set characteristics. So here 569 instances are recorded, and here we have 30 numeric predictive attributes and the class. So here attribute information. So here breast cancer diagnosis, here we have radius. So here these are the different parameters for each and every feature. Radius means center from findable perimeter. So here these are the, so we are predicting the breast cancer, right? So here we need to know the different features of the tumor. So here these are the different features of the tumors. So here we have this entire information. So based on this entire information, we have target like, so here it is a normal tumor, that is a benign tumor, or it is a malignant tumor. So based on these features, they categorize it whether that is it is a normal tumor or dangerous malignant tumor. We need to predict that thing. So for that purpose, here it is the description about entire data set. So after seeing the description about entire data set, what we need to do? So here we need to see the feature names. So what are the input names present in this data set? So for that purpose, we need to see the features name. From this dictionary, I want to access all the feature names. Cancer of, so here we need to access all feature names. So here we need to access this key. So whenever you access this thing, it will return all features name. We already saw all these features in this dictionary description itself. So here, these are the different features they specified for this data set. So after this, with this data, we need to create a data frame. So here, with this data, we need to create a data frame. I am showing that result in the data frame attribute. So here I'm saying pd dot data frame. I want to create a data frame here. With the which data we need to create this data frame? From the cancer, which is dictionary. From this dictionary, with the data, I want to create a data frame. So here, I want to keep columns equals to all the dictionary keys we need to consider as a columns. So here we need to consider all the keys of this thing. Columns equals to cancer of. So here we need to say feature names. We need to consider all the feature names as column names. Here we need to close this thing, right? So here we created the data frame with this specific attribute. Now I want to know the information regarding data frame. So what we need to do? So here we need to see the information regarding this data frame. So if you see the information regarding this data frame, so here these are the values, these are the features. So here we don't have any missing values. That's why we need not to take care about missing data. That's why here we don't have any missing values. That's why we need not to worry about the missing values. So here, these are the different features of different information regarding our data set. After that, I want to see the target column. So here in the dictionary itself, we have target column. So here, cancer in this dictionary, we have target column. I want to see the target column. So if you observe in the dictionary keys itself, we will get to know whether this column is there or not. So here in this dictionary itself, we have target column. So here we have target column. Target is nothing but which kind of tumor it is. If it is 0, that is nothing but it is not an malignant tumor. It is a normal tumor only. If it is 1, that means it is an malignant tumor. So after that, what we need to do? We need to, so here with the target also, we need to create a new data frame. With these features, these are present in the dictionary. With these features also, I want to create a data frame. So here I'm saying target data frame. So here df target. So here how to create a data frame? pd dot data frame. So here I'm creating one more data frame with the target column. So with which column we need to create? From the cancer dictionary with the target column, we need to create a data. So with the target column, we need to create a data frame, and we need to consider column name as the cancer. Sorry, target only. Sorry, cancer. So here, whatever the name you want to keep, you can keep that name. So here I'm giving columns name as cancer only. So whether the person have cancer or not. So for that purpose, I'm keeping cancer name as, so here cancer. If it is 0, that means person don't have cancer. If it is 1, that means the person have cancer. So here I'm keeping column name as cancer. So here I created the data frame for the this thing also. So I want to observe the features, that is nothing but this features, that is nothing but in which thing we store the features. Yeah, in the data frame we store the features. For the target also we created new data frame. So here features will be present in the data frame. So here df contains all features. So here to know the head of all the features, so here df dot head, I'm saying df dot head. So whenever you apply the head on the features, it will return the features which you have with us. So here these are the features which are measured. So here these are the different columns data we have. So after that, what we need to do here, we need to split our data set in the form of training and test set. So here from sklearn dot model selection, from sklearn dot model underscore selection, import what we need to import from this train test split class, train underscore test underscore split class. So here it is the class. After this, what we need to do? After importing this class, we need to create an object with this class. So here we need to assign this object to the xtrain as well as xtrain comma. After that, what we need to specify? Xtester comma. We need to specify ytrain and ytest here. So whatever the attributes you want to specify, you can specify those attributes. Whereas the first attribute corresponding to training data, input training data, that is nothing but feature training data. And next attribute corresponding to feature testing data. After that, output or response vector training data and output or response vector test data. So after that, what we need to specify? We need to use this class name. So with this name only, we need to create an object. In this thing, what we need to specify? We need to specify the input. That is nothing but in this function, in this object, we need to specify the input. That is nothing but features. Features are present in the data frame. For that purpose, here I'm saying data frame. After that, we need to specify the target vector. How to specify this target vector? So here, what is the name we kept for the target vector? Df target, right? So here is in the form of single row. So for that purpose here, I want to specify all those in the form of single row. For that purpose, from the numpy, I want to apply ravel function on it. So here, I want to specify all this feature with the single row. Here I'm you applying ravel function on the data frame. So here I'm saying df target. So here in this function, we need to specify the data frame of target. So here it is the name, right? Yeah, df target of. From in this, which column we need to consider? We need to specify that column name also. What is the column name we kept for that thing? So here we need to convert this entire target column in the form of this thing. Don't worry about that thing. So after this, we need to specify the test size. I want to specify test size as some 30% data to test the result. So here I'm keeping test size as 0.3. So here if you keep 0.30, it will be considered as 30% data for the testing and remaining. So I want to keep random state. If you don't keep the random state also, that is not a big problem. Whereas here I'm keeping random state equals to 0 and I'm running this portion. Yeah, this portion also executed successfully. After that, what we need to do? Here we splitted our data set in the form of training and test set. After splitting our data set in the form of training and test set, we need to apply our machine learning algorithm. So here, how to apply this machine learning algorithm? From sklearn, we need to apply support vector machine. From this support vector machine, we need to use support vector classifier, that is SVC. So here we need to import support vector classifier. After importing support vector classifier, we need to fit our data to the model. So here to fit the data, what we need to do? So here before this thing, we need to create an object. So here I'm saying classifier equals to SVC. Here I'm creating an object. So after creating this object, in this we need to specify training and test data. So here we need to specify training and test data. So here training data is nothing but xtrain. And here we need to specify the y train. We need to train the machine initially. So for that, sorry, here not we need to specify that thing. So here we are creating the object, sorry, with that specific class. After specifying this class, so here by default, if you don't specify the kernel, it consider radial basis function. If you don't specify the degree also, it will consider degree equals to 3. And if you don't specify the C parameter, that is regularization parameter, by default, it will be considered regularization parameter as a 1. So after that, what we need to say? Classifier dot fit. We need to fit our training data to the machine. So here, what the hell? So here we need to say, we need to fit our model. So here we need to say classifier dot fit. We need to fit our training data. So here we need to say x train comma y train. We need to specify the training data here. So here till now these are the default parameters. After specifying this thing, what we need to do, we need to predict the outcome. So here I want to predict the outcome. So if you want to take any sample, you can test with that specific sample, whereas here I want to predict the outcome for test data set. So here I want to predict the outcome and I want to store that output in y predict. So here I'm saying y predict equals to classifier dot predict. So here I want to predict the outcome for test set. So that is x test. So here we applied this thing successfully. After applying this thing, we need to evaluate our model performance. To evaluate model performance, we need to import metrics from sklearn dot metrics. We need to go to the metrics. From the metrics, we need to import confusion matrix. Import. We need to import confusion matrix as well as classification report. Initially, I want to import the confusion matrix. Confusion underscore matrix. At the same time, I want to import the classification report also. I want to import classification report. So here I imported these two things. After taking these two things, I want to observe the confusion matrix. I want to print the confusion matrix. So for that, what we need to do? So here we need to use this confusion matrix attribute. In this confusion matrix, we need to create an object with this thing. So here in this, we need to specify the test data. We need to specify the test data. Sorry, to plot the confusion matrix, what we need to specify inside it? We need to specify the test data as well as prediction result. So here we need to say y test as well as here we need to specify y predict. So here based on this thing, we need to plot the confusion matrix. So here it is the confusion matrix. It is highly biased matrix. So here we predicted 100 point as a true positive and we are predicting 63 points as in false negative. Here it is highly biased problem. So here after this thing, we need to see the classification report. To see the classification report, I'm copy pasting same thing. So here in place of confusion matrix, we need to replace that thing with the classification report object. So here it is a how much accuracy we are getting very low accuracy. That is nothing but here we are approximately getting 49% of accuracy only. Here I want to get the more accuracy. To get the more accuracy here, we need to apply grid search method. So here to get the best accuracy, here we need to apply grid search method. That means we need to keep best parameters here. If you observe this algorithm, here we have this many parameters, right? In this algorithm, we need to specify the optimum values, optimum C value, and we need to specify the optimum gamma value. To get the best outcome, we need to specify the optimum gamma value as well as optimum C value. That is nothing but regularization parameter. If you keep optimum values of C as well as this GA, you will get the best outcome. So to get the optimum parameters, we need to use grid search method, grid search CV method, which is present in sklearn only. So here I will do that thing. So here I want to specify the random parameters. To specify the random parameters, so here I'm saying parameter underscore grid. I want to, so here it is a variable only. Whatever the variable you want to assign, you can assign that variable. So here I want to specify those parameters in the form of dictionary. Initially, I want to consider C value. So here, so I want to consider best C value. For that purpose, here in the list, I want to specify the different values. Here I'm specifying 0. So here I want to keep some random values. Next, I want to give 1. After that, I want to give some 1 again, and I want to give some 10. And after this, I want to give some 100. After this, I want to give some 1000. So out of this, I want to sort the best regularization parameter. After this, for the gamma also, I want to specify few random values. So I want to specify few values. So I want to specify all those values in the dictionary only. So here I want to specify gamma value as 1, sorry, yeah, here 1 or some 0.1, or else if I want to specify some 0.01. After that, if you want to specify some 0.001, after that, if you want to specify some 0.0001 also, 0.0001. So here I am specifying this parameters in this. After this, I want to kernel. So here we have kernel parameter also, right? I want to consider kernel by default RBF kernel only. RBF kernel is the best kernel. That's why I want to choose kernel as RBF only. So for the nonlinear problem, it is the best kernel. So I want to choose kernel as RBF only. So here in this thing, I am choosing RBF only. So here I am specifying these parameters. After that, I want to apply this parameters to the grid search CV algorithm. CV stands for computer vision. So here I want to import that thing from the sklearn, from sklearn dot model selection. So here from the model selection, we need to import grid search CV. So here I want to import grid search CV class from model selection. After that, I want to apply all these parameters to our grid search learning algorithm. So here I want to apply, I want to create an object with this grid search first, and I want to specify all these features. I am creating object with this specific class. After this, what we need to do here, we need to specify, we need to fit all these parameters. So here in this, we need to input SVC object. In this SVC, what we need to specify parameter grid. So parameter grid is nothing but here we need to specify parameters grid. We need to specify that thing here. So here I'm specifying the dictionary. After specifying this thing, I want to refit all this parameter to our model. Every time I want to refit all these parameters. So for that purpose, here I'm keeping refit equals to true. So here I'm saying refit equals to true. After this, here I'm keeping verbose equals to some 3. So here I am running this portion. After running this portion, I want to keep entire training data as well as test data to this algorithm. So here I want to fit grid dot fit. So for this fit method, I want to apply xtrain as well as xtest. Sorry, I want to give entire training data as well as test data. Xtrain as well as ytrain. So here I'm training the machine. So if you train this machine, it will return. So it will, yeah, what it returns. So here it